All right, so the 3D printing and 3D CAD course is ready. If you're interested, you can purchase it. There'll be a link in the upper right and in the video description. So months ago, like beginning of this year, I told you guys that I was gonna start working on this and I wanna come out with it and whatnot. And I've been working on it, obviously. And I asked for you guys, whoever's interested, fill out this form. It asked a couple questions like what's one thing you want to see in this course, what experience do you have, and so forth. What do you want to get out of this course? And there was a bunch of you who signed up, so thank you for that. I would say 80–90% of you guys have zero experience with 3D printing or CAD, and you guys just want to get into this, and that's awesome. A couple of you guys have tinkered with one or the other. Some of you guys were intermediate and advanced and just looking for more. So that's kind of the breakdown of who filled this stuff out. So anyway, thank you for all that. And what I did is I just started from scratch in terms of the lessons. It starts from zero. You have little to no experience with 3D CAD or 3D printing. We start with the basics. So it's really broken down into like 4 sections. 3 sections really. The 4th section is to come, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But basically there are 85 video step-by-step lessons in this course, and I'll give you a sneak peek in that course in just a little bit. But basically the first section is, hey, you're gonna need a $200 to $300 3D printer. I give you recommendations on which ones to buy. I show you how to set one up, how to operate it, how to calibrate it, how to level the bed, all this stuff you need to do to the 3D printer to get it operational and finally getting good prints out of it, right? The second thing or second section is the slicing program. I use Cura. It's totally free. And by the way, everything's free except the printer. You got to buy the course and you got to buy a printer, and all the software that I use in the lessons, it's free software. Okay, so the second section is on slicing and preparing a 3D model for your printer. Okay, you have to do a bunch of stuff to get it to print. You just have to, it's setup purposes. All right, so you can stop there. You don't have to design parts. You can grab free stuff off the internet and just print it. But for me, the third section, which really shines, is when you learn how to do 3D CAD and you design something on your own that either doesn't exist or is too expensive to buy or whatever, or you just want to goof around. I use Fusion 360 in the course. That seems like it's the most powerful that's available for free, and it's pretty intuitive to use, very intuitive, and so forth. So that's the third section. The fourth section, which is completely empty at this point, but I want to start building it, is like a design library. So all these lessons built the foundation, right? I teach you the basics of the 3D printer and the 3D modeling, and now let's start designing cool stuff. And from an engineering standpoint, what do you consider in the design process and whatnot? So that's going to be really cool. And you've seen me over the years design all sorts of goofy stuff to get the job done, right? Coping tools, seals installers, jigs, little brackets. I mean, you can 3D print all that stuff and it works just fine. All right, let's hop on the computer and let's take a peek inside what the course has to offer. All right, so let's take a peek inside this course. First, a few things. When you get to my website here, current course members, or if you bought a video from me or whatever, up at the top here, video course login. So if you click on that, you get right into here, okay? But if we go back right here, courses, so we got the motorcycle repair masterclass. I also have a home business course if you want to learn how to make money from your garage or house or whatever. That's loaded with info. Down here, 3D printing CAD course. All right, so you click on that, and it leads you here, tells you a little bit about it, and then of course you can buy it. But anyway, once you get into the course, here it is, and you can hit this button and hit start course. And I'm using a desktop right now, but there's also an app for Android and Apple and whatnot, so you can view these videos on your phone, right before you go to bed or whatever, right? So anyway, there's 85 lessons right now. 85. Okay, so we got a little bit of an intro here. Tell you how to use this course. Getting started with 3D printing. So I talk about my first 3D printer and 3D printer recommendations, and talk about filaments, loading and unloading the filaments, leveling the printing bed. This is probably the most important part right here is leveling. Some things to help out with adhesion, how to find free files, and then workflow of how to print stuff. And I just clicked on more. Let's see, there's a page 2. And then we have some calibration information. Okay, so then the next section after you have your 3D printer built and tuned up and all that good stuff is we cover slicing. And slicing is basically you have a 3D model, but you need to tell the printer on how to orient it, how to print it, what layer size, all this stuff, right? So you have to go in this software and prepare the model for 3D printing. And then it spits out the code and you transfer it to the machine and whatever. So over here we just have, videos on how to do that. And then also some modifications. Let's say you want a thicker wall count, line count. So you want more layers to, for stronger holes and parts. We cover something like that. There's a bunch of plugins you can have for this software to help you do things faster. What else is in here? And then we talk about supports and whatnot. So that's all this stuff will get you going for sure, right? And then we have working with 3D printed parts post-print. So there's special plastic screws. You can tap the plastic. We can have brass heat inserts. And then there's some methods on how you can glue the stuff together if you do multiple parts or you just want to glue something up really quick. We cover that. I cover that. Okay, then the next section is 3D CAD modeling with Fusion 360. And any software that I cover here, I even show you how to install it. So I go through the installation process, and then we just get right into it with how to move the model around, how to create basic datums, planes, axes, points, stuff like that. Then we go into 2D sketching. So 3D starts with 2D. You 2D sketch something and then you turn it into a 3D model with, extruding, revolving, sweeping, or whatever. So that's the next section, which is creating solids. So we have all these different things here, which cover one by one. These are all software features or items. So you click a button and you can add all these different features. So it covers all that. Okay, we cover holes and threads, a little bit of sheet metal design, inspecting or measuring. So there's all these analysis tools that you can use for the 3D model. Get into assemblies here. And then finally exporting for 3D printing. A little bit of appearance and so forth. And then I got like a tools and accessories section that you might need for 3D printing, like digital calipers, for example. And then here's what I talked about, like the fourth section, design examples or library. Currently it's empty, but I want to start getting into this where I've laid all the foundation work on how to use the 3D printer, how to set it up, how to do basic 3D modeling. Now let's design useful stuff. So tools, jigs, molds, whatever, you name it. We're going to go through that, and that's going to basically take all these lessons and apply them to make something. And then I also started a resource thing here. So if you go in here, I give you a link to a downloadable chart for taps and drills and whatnot. But let's go into some of these lessons, I want to point out a few things. Let's see, leveling the bed, for example. So we have almost an 11-minute, 12-minute video here on how to level the printing bed. And then over here is a download. I made a cheat sheet that you can download right now. So here's a sheet that you can download, and it walks you through how to level the bed. Anyway, just to give you an idea of how this course is kind of laid out. And then another thing I did, which is super awesome, is in here under the Fusion part of it, the 3D CAD, let's say right here, extrude feature. Click on that. Okay, so we got an 11-minute video on how to extrude. And then over here, I got some stuff, and this is right out of the help menu from 360. So I have this as a little area here where you can just quickly reference. If you're watching the video or using the software, you can come back here and reference this stuff. But anyway, if you look over here under downloads, extrude tutorial zip. So you download this zip, and it has the model that I created in the lesson. So what that allows you to do is to view it. You can roll the model back and forth, and you can see the exact steps I took to create the lesson's model. And then you can play around with it, you can recreate it, and that's what I encourage you to do through these lessons. You watch the video, you see how you do it, you download the model, and then you try to do exactly what I just did and practice with actually modeling this stuff up. And this is the same for every lesson. You can go to the next one right here, and then here's revolve, and it has all this information down here, and again, it has the tutorial. So for all the 3D stuff, I have downloads for you, which should help you quite a bit. And another thing you can do is you can comment under any lesson or video and ask for clarification or whatnot. Okay, so that's a little inside information, a little sneak peek inside the course. Again, like I said, 85 lessons at the moment. This is going to grow. We're going to grow the design library, and this in here will keep you busy for months because there's, like I said, 85 lessons, and for you to go through all this stuff, it'll be months worth of learning exercises. And in the meantime, I'm going to start adding more. This is going to grow. This is going to be well into the hundreds of lessons, and it's going to be awesome. All right, so that was a peek inside the course. For those of you who signed up months ago and have helped me out on what you want to see, I emailed you guys a little coupon link, discount link, if you want to pick up the course. That expires soon, so just so you know. For the rest of you, the link is in the video description, and it's also up there. And like I said, right now it's 85 lessons, and it's going to grow. And those 85 lessons alone will keep you busy for months. I mean, you will have so much practicing to do and learning to do. As I add content, it'll be available for you as well. So that's all I gotta say. The course is available. Links down here, up there, you know, and it's awesome. Never has this been such an easy and affordable time to get into 3D printing and 3D CAD. I mean, and there's just more and more coming out in the market in terms of better 3D printers and all this good stuff. So, I mean, why not? A couple $100 gets you in the hobby, and it'll pay for itself. I have printed so much goofy stuff, and it saved me so much money, saved me trips from the store, buying crazy tools, and I could just 3D print it, and I love it. And I just want to explore it even further, and it'll definitely be in this course for sure.